Hey guys, this is a short follow-along video that you can use to mobilize your hamstrings. If you've got tight hamstrings and you feel like you can't touch the floor or your toes with straight legs, if you've been trying static stretching, then this is definitely for you. Unfortunately, static stretching alone is not enough to help you improve your hamstring flexibility to get you to the point where you can touch your whole hands on the floor like this. So we've got 5 different drills that we're going to do. And what you're going to need for this is a resistance band, a yoga mat helps, and ideally a weight. So you could use a kettlebell or a dumbbell or a barbell or anything that is going to be roughly like 10 kilos. Also optionally, if you have yoga blocks, that's great, or you can use something else as an alternative that's a similar size and shape. So the 5 areas that we're going to do is neural flossing, antagonistic activation, contract, relax stretching, loaded stretch, and then integration at the end. So to start us off, we're going to do nerve flossing or neural flossing. So if you have 2 blocks like this, great. Or if you have a low step, that's fine. You basically want something that's around your shin height. You're going to bend forwards and you're going to straighten one leg while you bend the other. We're going to repeat this for 20 to 30 reps. And it's called nerve flossing because it's just like flossing your teeth. So we're just straightening one side while the other bends, one side's taut while the other side is relaxed. So this is just preparing the hamstrings for the stretches that are going to come. So want this to be nice and easy, nice and light. If you want to make it a bit harder, if you can touch your fingertips to the floor doing this, even better, but we don't want this to be too difficult. Okay, once we've done that, the next thing you're going to do is called antagonistic activation. So we're going to be activating the hip flexors because they're the opposite muscle to the hamstrings. So for example, like your biceps, when your bicep engages, your tricep relaxes, and vice versa. This is the same. If your hamstring is engaged, then your hip flexors relaxed. And if your hip flexors engaged, then your hamstrings relax. So you're going to do what's called a pike pulse. So put your hands on the floor, and if you can lift the legs up like this, using your abs and using your hip flexors, great. If you need to put your hands behind you, that's also fine. We're going to go for 10 to 15 reps. Try and feel the muscles in the hips engaging. And as I said, what this is going to do is going to relax the hamstrings. So once you've done 10 to 15 reps, we're going to get into the juicy stretches. So this next one, you're going to need a resistance band. You're going to want, doesn't matter too much on the tightness, it's just one that you can fit around your foot. Lie down, and we're going to straighten the other leg, so the other leg's on the floor. And what you're going to do is start off with is just get used to it by doing some circles. So you're going to go for 4 or 5 circles in one direction, and then 4 or 5 in the other. Using the hands to control the leg. There's a little bit of control through the hip as well. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to play with the range of motion. So we're bringing it up to here, trying to find where it becomes a bit too tight. So for me, it's about here. I mean, if I bring it to there, still just about okay. So maybe this is it for me. For you, it might be down here. The key is having your legs straight. That's the important thing. Okay, so bringing it up to the range. Now, this is the important thing. You're going to want to push down as if you're trying to do this with your leg. But you're going to use your hands and the band to stop it from moving. So it becomes an isometric activation. So push and pull at the same time. You're going to do it for 10 seconds, hard, short breaths. Keeping it in the exact same spot as it was. We don't want it to come down here. We want it to stay there. And then when you get to 3, 2, 1, exhale and stop pushing at the same time. And as you can see, you gain a few more centimeters. Now, I'm just going to rest here for 2 breaths. And then we're going to go again. So I'm going to push 10, 9, pulling against as well, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, inhale, keep pushing. 1, exhale, and stop pushing at the same time. And as you can see, I've gained another couple of centimeters. So we're going to do a total of 3 on each side. So we've got 1 more on this side. After just a couple of breaths, and then we go again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, pushing really hard. 2, inhale, 1. The exhaling is really important to do at the same time as the release. So you release a little bit with the hands, but you release fully with the legs. You just stay here for 20 to 30 seconds is good, just to teach you that this range is good for you. And then gently coming out. And we're going to repeat on the other side. So now you know what you're doing. If you've been watching and you weren't following along, then you can just repeat and go back to the start, and then we can do this side. So left side now, start with the circles, 3 or 4 in each direction. Remember, you're trying to guide it as much as you can with the arms and the band, rather than moving the leg if possible. And then moving it around, seeing what the range of motion is like. So for me, it's here. It's probably going to be different on both legs. I think that my left side is a bit tighter than my right, just by the looks of it. And we're going to go for the first contract, relax. Go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Whoa, I just had a big one there. Okay, as you can see, I don't know, I've probably gained like 3 or 4 centimeters. Feels really tight. So just take a couple of breaths. And the goal is, again, when I'm pushing, I want that foot to stay exactly where it is. Go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, really pushing. 2, 1. Oh, that was a big one. Okay, staying here. I feel like I've made more in these 2 than I did in 3 on the right side. Okay, 1 more deep breath, relaxing. Then we go for round 3. 3, 2, 1, push. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, not so much on that last one, but that's okay. I've definitely gained quite a lot. We're gonna stay here just for 20 to 30 seconds, just maybe a little movement side to side is always good too. What we're doing when we're contract relaxing, we're actually tricking our nervous system. When you're pushing, and you're engaging, and then you relax, you trick your nervous system into allowing you to go a little bit further into that range. Because it exhausts it, basically exhausts it in the time that you're pushing, so then when you go to relax, it lets it go a bit further than it had before. Okay, so that is contract, relax, stretching, and that is going to get you so much further in terms of range of motion than just static stretching alone. Okay, next up, we're going to move on to a loaded stretch. So for this one, ideally, if you have a step or a block to stand on, that's great, because you want a little bit of elevation on this one. The other thing you're going to need is a kettlebell or a dumbbell or any kind of weight. because the weight is now, it's going to pull you down slightly. We're going to use the load to increase the range of motion further. So standing on these 2 blocks, I'm going to hold on to this weight like this, and I'm going to start off by rolling down my back. So chin to chest, rolling down 1 vertebrae at a time. And the key is keeping the legs straight. So they're probably going to feel more flexible now anyway. But if you come all the way down nice and slow, and you let that weight just pull you down, we're going to stay at the bottom or as low as you feel comfortable to go for 10 seconds. And then you're going to slowly do some reps where you're going to lift up, halfway up the shin, and then go back down. So very slow, very gentle, up and down, keeping the hamstrings and the legs straight. 3, remember not to go too heavy with this weight. 4, 5, and then you're going to do 1 more rep, just going all the way down as low as you can. If it ends up touching the floor, that's fine. Holding for another 10 seconds. Long, slow breaths. And then slowly coming all the way up. Keeping the legs straight and straightening up the back. Okay, so that's 1 round of Jefferson curls. So if you wanted to do 2 sets or 3 sets of that, that's fine. One thing I would strongly recommend not doing is doing this before you do a heavy leg session or go for a big run, because this relaxes your hamstrings too much to then activate them and use them for heavy weightlifting or heavy running. I learned this the hard way by doing this before doing heavy squats, and I put the bar on my back and my legs were just too relaxed and they just gave up on me and I fell and I dropped the bar. So just a reminder that don't do this routine before you're going to lift heavy weights or go for any big form of exercise. Do it on a rest day or do it post-workout or do it on the same day as an upper body day is totally fine, but not on a heavy leg day. The last thing that we're going to do today is integration. So what we're going to do to integrate is just do movements that integrate having looser hamstrings. Okay, so what we're going to do for this is we're going to go down into a deep squat. So if you can't go down into a full deep squat, that's okay. But ideally, if you can keep the heels on the floor, if the heels come up a bit, that's fine. We're going to go down into a deep squat. And then we're going to straighten the legs as much as we can. Bend the legs again. And then stand all the way up. That's 1 rep. We're going to go for 5 to 10 reps. So it's deep squatting down again, keeping the elbows on the knees, hands to the floor, and then bend again and stand up. Each time try and get a little bit straighter in the legs and practice doing the feet at different positions as well. So if you come down here, straighten the legs, bend the knees and stand up. Still, if you don't have that much range, you can still use these as well if you want. So you can squat down, hold on, straighten, bend, and up. And then 1 more rep, squat down, straighten, bend, and up. So same again, that was just 1 set. You could do multiple sets if you want to. And then if you now test your hamstring range of motion, you should, if you weren't able to touch your toes or the floor, you should be a lot closer, if not all the way there by now. So give it a go. Let me know how you find it in the comments. I'm going to add more videos like this for different muscles and different joints. So stay tuned for more, and thanks for watching.